we are going a little bit more old school, and by that I mean back to the first days of the channel when I was doing a lot of conversations about health and wellness, and specifically the ketogenic low carb lifestyle. However, in this video, we're not going to talk necessarily about keto, but we are going to talk about OMAD. What does OMAD stand for? It stands for 1 meal a day. I have posted a video about this earlier, like a year or so ago, so I will link that down below. However, I'm not going to really be explaining OMAD so much in this video, more as my experience with it. I did just try it for an extended amount of time, almost a month, and OMAD means 1 meal a day. So just kind of sharing with you what worked, what didn't work, what my results were, if it's something that I would do again, if it's something that perhaps you should try, and really just kind of having a conversation with you guys because I haven't done that in a while. So let's head into it. OMAD, 1 meal a day. That sounds terrifying, I know, to so many people. If you know anything about intermittent fasting, really OMAD is just kind of like the most extreme intermittent fasting you can do. So in intermittent fasting, what you're doing is you're giving your body a break, a very long extended break between the times when you eat. So you might hear people who intermittent fast talk about how they don't eat breakfast and they only eat within a certain window. So they might eat from, say, 12 o'clock in the afternoon is when they'll have their first item of eating, all the way to perhaps like 6 or 8 o'clock at night, and then that's that they don't eat past that time. And then their body then is just digesting and going through what it needs to go through from 8 at night, all throughout the evening, all throughout the next morning until, again, 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So it really does give your body a break from having to be constantly digesting and constantly just working through all the food and all the junk that we eat all the time. So that's intermittent fasting. So 1 meal a day is when basically you're saying, hey, I'm gonna make that window even shorter, and perhaps I'm gonna only eat within this 2-hour span or a 1-hour span. And so that is what I attempted to do for about 3 weeks or so. It was a little bit longer than 3 weeks. And let me tell you, it was easy, but it wasn't. Here's what I'm going to say about it being easy. Only eating 1 meal a day. The easy part about it is that, one, you have so much more time in your day to do other things and be thinking about other things because you've cut food out of the process, so you're not thinking about it. So I did have this extra time. It was easy to not be focused on food. It really was. I didn't feel like I was starving. The hard part is that there were a couple days in, not even the very beginning, I would say week 2, where I started to feel like around lunchtime, like, oh, I just feel tired and I could eat right now. And I will say, for the most part, I was able to not give in to that and to instead refocus my time and attention elsewhere. I did struggle hard at the end with headaches, and I think it's because I also changed the way that I was consuming coffee. That is the biggest thing for me, because even if you've been following me with my keto lifestyle earlier in my channel, you know, I went super strict keto. I lost a lot of weight, and then I started to kind of transition myself back into a more normal lifestyle way of eating. However, one of the things I've always kept is by starting my day with a bulletproof coffee. And probably, I would say, very quickly into this 1 meal a day diet for this extended amount of time, I cut out the bulletproof coffee. And I did keep coffee, but I just kept black coffee. And wow, I noticed a huge difference because I immediately was getting tired, smack in the middle of the day, tired. I was able to get myself through it, but towards the end, I did start to get headaches. And I think part of that is because when you're doing 1 meal a day, you really should be eating very clean, nutritious items that are really gonna just like fuel you and give you everything that you need for especially then the following day. And I definitely had moments in my lifestyle where I wasn't home at night. I wasn't planning these things out. So, you know, there was one night where I was out working, and we were singing at a center where a whole bunch of teenagers are. So what do they have there? They have concession stand food, and that's what I had for the night. And even as I was eating, I was like, this is such a mistake. It was the only thing I ate that day, and I knew that the next day was going to be a struggle, and it certainly was. So I definitely learned from that. So if I ever did OMAD again, I would actually have to do a better job of planning out having really good, fresh, filling, healthy foods, because I didn't do that this time, and I definitely noticed a difference. Now, with all of that, okay, what was the outcome? Did I lose any weight? How was I feeling at the end of it? All of those things. I will say, again, it definitely, how would I say this? It definitely helped squash actually my appetite. It kind of suppressed my appetite, because once my body got used to not having to eat all the time, it just got used to it. And now I'm back in that schedule where like I can have some of my bulletproof coffee stuff in the morning, and then I'm fine for the most rest of the day. However, the headaches were just like, were brutal. I did fail 2 days out of the almost 30 that I did, and one of them was my sister's baby shower, and the other one was just because I was feeling so sick, so depleted, so tired, migraines. I couldn't even drive. I couldn't work. I needed to eat something, and once I did, I felt better. So clearly that was a process of me not having planned well the night before and thinking that I could just kind of rush this process, this diet, and feel like I was gonna be able to do okay with it. Not happening. I did lose about 4 to 5 pounds. Now again, if you've been following me on my keto stuff, you know that I lost a lot of weight on that earlier, about 2 years ago now, and I have been able to maintain, which has been great. Little ups and downs, but really overall I've not hit that big number again where I feel like I was at when I started. So losing 4 to 5 pounds for me was great. Throughout that process of the month-long diet change, it did go up and down a little bit, and I think that's just natural, you know, from like where your body is that month and bloating and things like that. However, by the end of it, I definitely lost a good solid like 4 to 5 pounds, and for me that's really good, because percentage wise that's fine for me. I don't need to lose crazy weight anymore. So just maintaining is good. So a healthy 4 to 5 pounds is perfect for me right now. So it did do that. I did get used to it. It did cause headaches. I think I should have planned. That was all my fault. If you guys have done OMAD, what type of OMAD did you do? Did you do vegetarian? Did you do keto low carb? Were you doing Whole30? Like, what are the kind of ways that you were doing OMAD? Because I didn't have a specific way that I was doing it, because I didn't want to have to fill my mind with the stress of thinking, what exactly can I and can I not eat? So I would love to know what you are saying that you've done and what worked for you if you've done this. Now, this isn't for everybody. I know a lot of different lifestyles where this could just be hard depending on your work schedule and what you have to do. It was a little difficult for me because when you're only eating 1 meal a day and you're out multiple nights a week because of work or different things, it just makes it hard, because now you're also relying on somewhere else and not your home to be able to provide you with good choices. And clearly, as in my example with my concession stand food, that's not the way to go. So that has been my experience with OMAD for an extended amount of time. Would I do it again for an extended amount of time? I want to say no. I feel like it was not the best decision that I made. I mean, you know, you try things, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're fails. I don't think it was a total fail, because again, the purpose of taking that time in January was really so that I would remove something from my life that was kind of taking up my time and controlling me, which was food, and instead I was able to replace it and use that time to then go and focus on other things. And for me, that was, I started my Bible in a year reading, I was praying more, I was able to really do more of that than when I am so consumed with food. So it did do that for me. It did do that for me. However, physically, it was rough, and I think it's mainly because I didn't do it the way that we were supposed to do it. So I would not do it again. It's not bad, but I wouldn't do it again. I would do it where maybe if I was more intermittent fasting throughout the week, I would pick a day or two where maybe I would do 1 meal a day, and I think that would actually be fine. And then unfortunately there are times where that actually just happens to me anyway, because of the nature of the busyness of life and lack of planning. I've really missed just sitting down talking with you guys. I do feel like this video compared to the others is not like as scientific and factual information. It's definitely more experiential. However, I have missed just sitting and talking to you guys, talking to the camera, and just sharing with you where I'm at and what I'm doing right now, where I am, and I do hope to be able to sit down and do more of these. I am still having certain days where like keto is certain days, but then there's other days where I'm not worried about it at all. And again, just kind of like maintaining, and the fact that it's worked, the fact that doing keto low carb strict for, what was it, like 8 months, really just completely changed my body, and I am so grateful for all that time and that effort that I put into doing that. So I highly recommend it. And if you need information about how to get started or what it is, I'll drop links down below because I have tons of videos on the channel for you guys to check that out. But if you're just looking for something to just like feel refreshed and energized, and yes, to lose weight, but perhaps you're just like, I just need to feel like, there's just like light inside, and I'm just lit up again, and not just like sluggish and tired and gross, and I call it trashy. So if you don't want to feel like that, I really do highly recommend cutting out carbs and trying a keto low carb diet. Again, make it work for you, make it modify for you. I've been using the Carb Manager app. It's amazing. I'll link that down below. Lots of links in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed having this conversation as much as I did. And again, I would love little tips and tricks for OMAD. What worked for you, what didn't? Would you ever try this? Was I crazy for trying it? Don't trash me for doing it wrong. I know I did it wrong. All right, well, I have some new fun things coming out. I'm actually going to film another video right now for a challenge that I'm doing in February. So I will see you guys later.